Should you get into snow plowing, snow removal for your business? Let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? Michael with Lawn Dude here. Out here on a Saturday finishing up these commercial properties. Question is, should you get into snow removal? Man, that is a yes or no question right there. So let me go and throw the disclaimer out. Every business is different. Every area is going to be different. Some areas aren't going to get a lot of snow. Some areas are going to get a lot of snow. Rates are going to be different. You know, the type of customers you can get are going to be different by the area you're in. So, for me to put my little 2 cents worth in on this subject, I'd have to say, for me, it's worth it, but it's also a big headache and a lot to get into, which will probably be a whole nother video about life of a snow removal maintenance business. For us, I had some hiccups in doing it. Working for the last company I worked for, we had the contract with the state, with VDOT, where we subbed and we took care of a lot of the main roads out there. So I had a lot of experience in it. I was actually a in-truck plow supervisor. They actually put me on one of the most treacherous roads out there from the get-go. And never had an issue out there. I was supposed to be a guy who I guess people could check in with when I'm actually out there in the truck plowing. So I had a pretty good grasp on it. So when I did go into my, when I went into my business full time, that same summer, we made the biggest investment of getting an F450 Super Duty dually dump body 7.3 liter Power Stroke diesel Ford truck. Came with a Meyer plow. Here's the other side to it. It was 2-wheel drive. It wasn't a 4-wheel drive dually. It was the 2-wheel drive. So I was all excited, pumped up. You know, we're all excited to get into the snow game that year. So it happened in Northern Virginia is where we're at. Happened to be the year where it doesn't snow much. So the point I'm getting to is the lesson that I learned that year. We happened to get the biggest blizzard of like 10 years maybe that year. I'm all pumped up. I have a hotel. I'm subbing for another company. And I guess at some point I got a nail in my tire. Like the storm started at 6 p.m. the night before. And like it just snowed like crazy all night. We're out plowing all night. And I'm just jacked. I'm happy to be out there. I guess at some point, we're doing the 2 subcontractors, which was in a whole another area from where the hotel was. The hotel wasn't far from my house, so it wasn't that bad. So I'm down in the other area, which isn't too far from the house. But again, I'm about to come to a couple lessons here. I'm down there taking care of them two pretty much all night. Didn't really get to the hotel because you know, again, I was wet behind the ears. I was green from running my own company. Basically, sometime at about 7 or something like that, I must have caught a nail in one of my dually tires, and I didn't have a spare tire. I didn't know it at the time. You know, I'm just happy to be out there, Jack. I got the hotel manager calling me, like, when you gonna get out here? You know, people about ready to leave. And at this point, I think it was like 7-8 inches of snow on the ground. I'm like, okay, no problem, I'll get up there. Here's one of the lessons I learned. If you're gonna do a snow removal maintenance business, be sure to do route density. It is super important with snow removal. unless you have multiple crews out. Because I kid you not, this was probably less than 5 miles away from the other area, and it took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there, because in the snow, with the amount of cars that were out that couldn't drive in the snow, and the amount of snow on the ground that hadn't been plowed yet, getting there. So I get there, and because I had a two-wheel drive truck, which I was concerned about in the beginning, I just put a lot of weight on it. I had good tires, all that. All right. I get out there, and basically, I'm trying to plow my way into the lot. I couldn't even do it, man. Like, my tires are spinning. And then I'm like, all right, well, let me get a lot of gas and going through the other entrance. I did that. Got stuck. I'm like, oh, great. This is because of two-wheel drive. No. I get out and see that one of my tires was actually flat, so it caused all the traction to be derailed. So instead of having 4 tires moving at once, I have 2 tires moving. 3 tires. So my lesson in that was, man, it's a few lessons to take away from this. Is route density, number 1. It's best to have a 4-wheel drive, number 2. It's best to have a backup plan, whether that's another contractor in the area or, a sub, another truck, another piece of equipment, tractor, skid, whatever. That's number 3. And number 4, priority of your clients. I'm sitting here subbing for another company, and I'm out spending more time on their property. I have a 0 tolerance hotel that I waited till 8 inches got down on. And basically, I put them thinking I could run over there and knock it out real quick. Not that simple. So, make a long story short, I ended up getting pulled out by a Jeep at that time. How embarrassing was that? I was basically done for the day. I had to get in my 4-wheel drive truck I had at the time that didn't have a plow mount, or nothing on it, and ride around with a snowblower in the back and try and do what I can on a lot of these properties. Now, the hotel ended up having to find whatever drivers they could to keep them maintained until we got our tire fixed the next day. But that was embarrassing, and we lost that contract that year. So the next year, I think next 2 years, I went back to work just for the winter time. I went back to do snow removal with the company I used to work for. And while I was doing that, I was building up my business. I still was on call to do, little small, like, residentials. But after 2 years, I said I had enough. I had a friend who decided to go in with me, who actually was out there plowing with me with the other company. And through my company, I went ahead and said, I'm going to start snow removal again. We actually did it. We went and got a shopping center, huge shopping center. Real big for 2 trucks to do, which we still do to this day. 0 tolerance account, and trust me, it wasn't far from the house. It's probably a mile away from our house. Big shopping center, and myself and my guy, myself and my friend actually, we're more so partners when it comes to this. We take care of that, no problems. Every year, it's a lot of headaches, but it's worth it. So personally, I say I learned lessons which made me stronger today when it comes to snow removal. It's still kind of a toss-up sometimes, figuring out when you should salt an area or not, but it's worth it for us. My advice definitely is follow those tips that I laid out. About route density, make sure your equipment's good, having spare parts, having a backup plan, and just overall prioritizing your clients. If you have a 0 tolerance account that's going to take you a lot of time because there's a lot of detail, you might want to just charge more for that account and take on less accounts. That's kind of what we've done the last couple of years. It's technically 2 shopping centers that we're contracted to do that's right next to each other, but it's the same deal, same property manager. We're at the point where my friend is actually able to maintain the lot, basically manage it, and I can branch off and do other lots. So this year I am actually advertising for, or I'm actually trying to lock up some other commercials that are smaller, like condominium lots, mostly ones that we already do for landscaping that aren't too far, that is still in the area, that I can run around and do real quick and then go back to the shopping center and help him out. And hopefully adding another truck so that we can get somebody else in and we can maintain production. But please take those tips, man. Take that advice, man. I learned the hard way. Hate to see somebody else go that way because it could have went a lot worse. It's a big tail between your legs type of moment there. You know, swallowing your pride and just moving forward. Alright, hope y'all take these with a grain of salt. Hopefully y'all actually learning something here with what I went through. Y'all take it easy. Peace.